Riot has recently made the very smart decision to bring back a bunch of old items for the preseason. They also gave us a bunch of new toys to play with, which I am very happy about. It's almost like they care about us. Almost. Since Gunblade is back, I thought it might be a good time to make a mathematically correct Katarina video. I've had some drafts on it made for a while now, but never worked on it for very long. Now I can figure out how it works properly, including all the weird shit they tacked on when they changed her to an AP assassin. Send this video to someone who's hard stuck gold. I'm sure it'll be very helpful. Katarina has been reworked twice since she came out in 2009. I did not see these previous iterations. My first Katarina experience was losing as her in Norms, after looking up best pentakill champions and locking her in. I'm going to explain her current kit out of order, since it's a bit confusing if I don't. Her Q, Bouncing Blade, throws a dagger at an enemy, which deals magic damage to it and bounces to 2 nearby enemies. The dagger then lands behind the target. Her W, Preparation, gives her bonus move speed and throws a dagger straight up, which lands after 1.25 seconds. Her E, Shunpo, is a blink to a target unit or dagger, dealing magic damage and applying on-hit effects to the closest enemy. Her passive, Veracity, massively reduces her ability cooldowns on champion takedowns, and deals magic damage plus on-hit effects around her whenever she picks up a dagger. It also refunds most of her E cooldown. Her ult, Death Lotus, channels for up to 2.5 seconds, throwing knives at the 3 closest enemies that deal hybrid damage and on-hit effects. Right now, the normal build is full AP, with either a Lichbane or Nashor's Tooth for the on-hit, though Gunblade has been very popular since its return. We are not meta slaves though, I'm redefining the meta here, and you're coming along with me. When I first made my Python scripts for this video, I only calculated for Kat's ulti damage. This produced some surprising results, which I realized were because of the assumptions I had made when I wrote it. First, let's go over the scaling on her ult. She channels for up to 2.5 seconds, throwing a maximum of 15 daggers at each of the 3 closest enemy champions. Each dagger deals 50 plus 90% AP as magic damage, and 16% bonus AD physical damage, plus 50% bonus AD for every 100 bonus attack speed. Each dagger also applies on-hit effects at 35% effectiveness, and on attack effects at 100% effectiveness. This is very funny. Most multi-target abilities do not apply on attacks, because it'd be very broken. However, Kat is already broken, so adding more bullshit doesn't make a difference. This was added to her ult in 10.23, which is the same patch they removed Gunblade, funnily enough. They forgot to add it to the patch notes until 11.4 though. Let's go for a stroll through the wiki and see what counts as an on-attack effect. Oh no. It stacks lethal tempo. And Guinsoo's. Well, I don't need a script to tell me what's going to be in the build. With 15 daggers on 3 targets, Katarina throws a total of 45 daggers during her ult. That's 45 on-attack procs, meaning we can stack Guinsoo's and lethal tempo almost immediately. Each target also takes the full damage from lethal tempo's bolts, since on-attack effects aren't reduced. Guinsoo stacks to full after 4 attacks, and lethal tempo after 6, so for most of your ult time you're getting the full value from both. Here's the list of items I considered for the build. It's most of the heavy hitters that have AP, AD, or attack speed, though I remove some of them if they're outclassed by similar items. Running the script, we get this build for just her ultimate. Kraken Slayer, Guinsoo's, Terminus, Yuntal Wild Arrows, and Opportunity. Yes, you heard that correctly. Technically Bork is about the same as Kraken in terms of damage, but since Katarina needs takedowns to reset her abilities, Kraken's more useful. And the lifesteal on Bork is a bit of a dead stat on an ult build. Guinsoo's we already discussed, and Terminus is clearly useful because of the hybrid pen, but Yuntal and Opportunity are less obvious. Yuntal gives an attack speed buff when attacking a champion, which just so happens to apply on attack. The first dagger launched will trigger the effect, increasing the AD ratio and lethal tempo's damage. Also, the crit stacking passive applies on attack, meaning a single ult against 3 targets will stack at 70% of the way. Your daggers can't crit, but that doesn't really matter when the other stats are so high. Opportunity is the worst item, and by worst, I mean worst for my sanity. I was so sure this was a mistake at first, some bug in my code somewhere, which is very in character for me. But no, it's actually optimal. I tested it in game. This is because of Opportunity's passive. After being out of combat for 8 seconds, you gain 11 lethality, which lasts for 3 seconds after entering combat. Death Lotus lasts 2.5 seconds, so the buff persists for the entire thing. With this passive, Opportunity has the highest lethality of any item. The downside to this is you need to ult immediately after starting the fight, which is why I'm calling this one Ambush Katarina. It's very funny if you get a clip, but otherwise not really good. Turns out standing still for 2.5 seconds in a team fight is a bad idea. As far as runes go, lethal tempo is a requirement, but other than that you can do what you like. I personally take Coup de Grace, Axiom Arcanist, and Gathering Storm. I can already see a few of you aren't happy about the previous build. It doesn't count, you have to channel your ult for 2.5 seconds in a team fight. That's way too long, someone's gonna CC you. You came into this conversation looking for meta? They have a very special circle in hell just for you. Anyway, everyone knows the best all-in combo for Cat is EWQRE. Dash to the target, W to reset E, Q for the second dagger, R for damage, W lands, resetting your E, then you E to the dagger from Q. And yes, I know there are infinite variations of Katarina combos, but frankly, you're a nerd and a loser if you point that out. The code for this one is actually pretty interesting, and because I lost my mind for several hours figuring out how to make it work, we're going to look at it together. We start with some basic assumptions about our target. How much health they have, how much armor, how much magic resist, etc. Then we calculate our on-hit effects, like Kraken Slayer and Nashor's Tooth. Then we have effects that only apply once, like Sheen procs and energized attacks, but also spell effects like Liandry's and Storm Surge. With all of this added together, we can combine them with the base damage formula for each dagger, then calculate the total damage, apply resistance modifiers, then compare the sum for every build. Here we have the damage that each ability does, including the physical and magic portions. The combo itself is this sum, including a special case Lichbane proc. We then take the sum of the combo damage and apply resistance modifiers to that, add it all together with the damage from the ultimate, then we get a final value for the combo's damage. There's a lot of other stuff going on under the hood, including duplicate prevention and unique item handling, but I don't feel like explaining that today. Anyway, if we just accept that all the bullshit I spout is gospel, we get this build. Nashor's Tooth, Shadow Flame, Storm Surge, Void Staff, and Rapidons. This looks a bit more normal than the last build. We have a Nashor's Tooth, which gets great value from her ultimate, Shadow Flame for the bonus execute damage, which she needs for her resets, Storm Surge for more burst, and enough Magic Pen with Sork Shoes to deal true damage to most targets. No Gunblade though. Rapidon's passive makes building AP much more worthwhile, and the Omnivamp, while still extremely useful, doesn't deal more damage. I would suggest some runes, but this is pretty much just the default Cat build from last season, so just do whatever. I'm kinda bummed that the optimal build is just the normal one. Don't even show this to Cat Evolved, I don't want him to see this. Thanks for making it to the end. This year is looking really good for videos. Lots of new items and features. I want to try something with the role quests, and maybe make an actualizer build for someone. Couldn't do it for Cat though. The active only works if you have mana. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, etc, etc. Thanks again for watching. Vagar's low.
Okay, fine, I'll go. I'm on my way.
Yay!
Money out.
Free money.
There we go.
Actually, wait, can you hit our barrels like
Oh! You pushed him towards me!
I'm sorry, I tried to condemn him, but
You condemned him towards me, so he could hit me.
He was in front of the wall when I pressed the
No, he was not. That's not true.
He was when I pressed it.
You need to get your eyesight checked.